Low-carb, ketogenic diets and exercise performance. Low-carb and ketogenic diets are extremely popular. These diets have been around for a long time, and share similarities with Paleolithic diets, one trusted source. Research has shown that lower-carb diets can help you lose weight and improve various health markers, two trusted source. However, the evidence on muscle growth, strength and performance is mixed, 3 trusted source, 4 trusted source, 5 trusted source. This article takes a detailed look at low-carb, ketogenic diets and physical performance. What are low-carb and ketogenic diets? The guidelines for a low-carb diet vary between studies and authorities. In research, low-carb is usually classified as less than 30% of calories from carbs, 6 trusted source, 7 trusted source. Most average low-carb diets consist of 50 to 150 grams of carbs per day, a fairly high amount of protein and a moderate to high-fat intake. Yet for some athletes, low-carb can still mean over 200 grams of carbs per day. In contrast, a well-formulated ketogenic diet is more restrictive, usually consisting of only 30 to 50 grams of carbs per day, combined with a very high fat intake, 8 trusted source. This extremely low carb intake helps you achieve ketosis, a process where ketones and fat become the main sources of energy for the body and brain, 9 trusted source. There are several versions of the ketogenic diet, including Standard ketogenic diet. This is an extremely low-carb, moderate protein, high-fat diet. It typically contains 75% fat, 20% protein and 5% carbs, 8 trusted source. Cyclical ketogenic diet. This diet involves periods of higher carb refeeds, such as 5 ketogenic days followed by 2 high-carb days. Targeted ketogenic diet. This diet allows you to add carbs, usually around periods of intense exercise or workouts. The pie charts below show the typical nutrient breakdown of a low-fat Western diet, a low-carb diet and a typical ketogenic diet. In most low-carb and ketogenic diets, people restrict food sources like grains, rice, beans, potatoes, sweets, cereals and some fruits. An alternative approach is carb cycling, where high-carb periods or refeeds are included regularly in a low-carb or ketogenic diet. Bottom line, a low-carb diet usually consists of a higher protein intake with less than 30% of calories from carbs. Ketogenic diets are very high in fat, moderate in protein and contain almost no carbs. Low-carb diets and fat adaptation. During a low-carb or ketogenic diet, the body becomes more efficient at using fat as fuel, a process known as fat adaptation. The drastic reduction in carbs causes a rise in ketones, which are produced in the liver from fatty acids, 10 trusted source. Ketones can provide energy in the absence of carbs, during a prolonged fast, during long exercise periods or for people with uncontrolled type 1 diabetes, 11 trusted source, 12 trusted source, 13 trusted source. Even the brain can be partly fueled by ketones, 14 trusted source. The remaining energy is provided by gluconeogenesis, a process where the body breaks down fats and proteins, converting them into carbs, glucose, 14 trusted source. Ketogenic diets and ketones have many beneficial properties. They are even being used to treat diabetes, neurological diseases, cancer and risk factors for heart and respiratory diseases, 2 trusted source, 15 trusted source, 16 trusted source. The fat adaptation on a ketogenic diet can be very powerful. One recent study in ultra-endurance athletes found that a ketogenic group burned up to 2.3 times more fat in a 3-hour exercise session, 17 trusted source. Yet although low-carb and ketogenic diets provide many health benefits, there is an ongoing debate about how these diets affect exercise performance, 18 trusted source, 19 trusted source. Bottom line, in the absence of carbs, your body burns fat for energy. This mainly occurs by increased fat oxidation and the production of ketones.